I'm banged up in my cell. All that's in here is a bed, a cupboard, toilet and sink. Prison is crazy, Mum, and I've had enough of it. Being trapped in this place, I'm staying in the block where I am safe. I'll be glad to get Christmas out of the way to get on with the parole.
This is a letter from James Ward.
I've not got much hope, though, of them letting me out. I can't see why not.
He was 19 when he was sentenced to 10 months in prison for arson. 11 years later, and he's still inside with no sign of release.
James had troubles as in, being a bit of a rogue, but he didn't suffer from any mental health issues. And basically down the line of not having hope, having no release date, being kept away from his family, what he witnesses in prison has took a toll on his mental health. And the fact that he believes he'll never be released has basically made him think that, should he even live this life?
Despite repeated attempts over the last decade, James has not been able to convince his parole board that he is safe to be released. He's one of thousands being held on indeterminate sentences under the Imprisonment for Public Protection scheme, even though it was stopped after being described as a stain on the justice system. Mark Shuttleworth knows the anguish James and his family are suffering. He was sentenced to 2.5 years, but ended up serving nearly 7.
There's a lot of arguments, there's a lot of fights, there's a lot of things that shouldn't be happening, and you're in the middle of that trying to better your future and prove that you're not a risk, and you're stuck in the middle of it, you're stuck amongst it. How would you get out of that?
The Imprisonment for Public Protection sentence was introduced in 2005, designed for high-risk criminals who'd committed violent or sexual offences. The indeterminate sentence was abolished in 2012, following inappropriate usage. But more than 4,000 men and women are still incarcerated under IPP. 81% of these have already served their minimum term, while 42% are 5 or more years over their sentence. The prison system is in crisis, with striking officers, rising violence, radicalisation and drug smuggling. So the backlog of IPP inmates being held beyond their sentences joins a long list of serious problems the Ministry of Justice must tackle urgently.
They are very dangerous places, and prisoners don't feel that there is very much in the way to help them change their lives, anything really to offer redemption.
Another problem that needs urgent attention is overcrowding. But the release of thousands of prisoners like James, who have served their sentences and are no longer seen as a threat, would surely help. Ashish Joshi, Sky News.